Many were surprised when Daisy Ridley walked onto the stage at the Star Wars celebration and an announcement was made that she would be returning to the Star Wars universe in her role as Rey. This was met with mixed reactions. To this day, many fans still can't get to like the character and her development in episodes 7 to 9. We take a closer look at what the new Star Wars film is all about and what else to expect in the coming years in this video. There are only a few hints about the plot of the Rey film so far. What we do know, however, is the working title, New Jedi Order. This already sounds very much like it will be about Rey's efforts to establish a new Jedi Order. The project could also already be somewhat advanced, as the plot is set 15 years after the events of Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, so plenty of time to integrate some apprentices into the plot. As unclear as it is exciting is the question of the political situation in the galaxy. After all, the First Order destroyed the political center of the New Republic in the sequel trilogy. After the downfall of the First Order, there is thus a power vacuum that needs to be filled. The big question will be to what extent Rey and the new Jedi Order will play a part in this. After all, the Jedi were the keepers of the peace in the galaxy for millennia prior to the rise of the Empire. It is not known yet who will be in the cast of the new Star Wars movie. Daisy Ridley as Rey is of course a given. According to Hollywood insider Jeff Snyder, John Boyega is also ready to return as Finn. This is interesting because it would mean that he and Lucasfilm boss Kathleen Kennedy must have sorted out their differences, especially in the aftermath of the last trilogy. Boyega repeatedly criticized the development of his character. Currently, there is no information regarding a reunion with Oscar Isaac as Poe Dameron, or any new roles. However, we hope to get more information at the next Star Wars celebration at the end of May. Although there is often unofficial talk of Star Wars Episode 10, Kathleen Kennedy hinted that Rey's solo adventure would represent a new beginning for Star Wars. Daisy Ridley also stated in an interview that the project would take a completely different direction to the previous films. Depending on how you feel about the sequels and the Disney movies of recent years, this could be either good or bad news. The movie is directed by Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy. The two-time Oscar winner made a name for herself primarily with documentaries focusing on the abuses faced by women in Pakistan. Some time ago, an excerpt from an old panel discussion on this topic created a stir. In it, she expressed her intention to make men feel uncomfortable in her movies, an easy target for critics of modern Disney films who directly applied this statement to the upcoming Star Wars movie. Actually, the director's first steps into the entertainment business are still relatively recent. In 2022, she directed 2 episodes of the series Ms. Marvel. The script for the Star Wars continuation was originally written by Watchmen creator Damon Lindelof and Justin Britt Gibson. However, they left the project prematurely for unknown reasons. This was succeeded by Peaky Blinders creator Stephen Knight. The project marks his first work in science fiction. However, the collaboration is proving to be rather difficult. According to World of Real, Disney has so many requests for changes to his script that he basically had to start from scratch. The movie's current status is somewhat uncertain. Some sources say that production is currently on hold, while others speak of a planned shooting start in May 2024. That leaves us with a question. When will the new Star Wars film be released in theaters? Well, Disney has announced 2 movies in the franchise for 2026. The Mandalorian and Grogu is set to open in May 2026, exactly the date on which the Rey film was originally due to be released. You can find more information about this film and Season 4 in our movie preview for The Mandalorian and Grogu. Star Wars: New Jedi Order, on the other hand, is now likely to be released in theaters in December 2026. But these aren't the only Star Wars projects we can look forward to. There are 2 new series coming out in as early as 2024. First up is Star Wars: The Acolyte, with a story set during the time of the High Republic. The focus is on a Jedi and his former apprentice, as well as the Sith, who are still in hiding at this time. The leading role of May is played by Amandla Stenberg. The US actress was last seen in the horror comedy Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. Her former master Soul, on the other hand, is played by Lee Jung-jae. You may know the Korean actor from the successful Netflix series Squid Game. At the time of the plot, the Jedi Order believes that the Sith have already been wiped out, or have at least vanished deep into the unknown regions of the galaxy. The series' focus on the Sith is already reflected in its name, as their warriors were known as Acolytes during the Sith Wars. In The Acolyte, the so-called Order of the Sith Lords will feature for the first time. Meanwhile, this has actually been categorized as legends and is therefore no longer part of the official canon. However, there are rumors that the series will bring many aspects of it back into the canon. The series is described as a mystery thriller that primarily follows ex-Jedi apprentice May. She encounters the Sith and soon finds herself in the middle of a huge conflict. On the one side, there's the Sith, who want to use her as a tool. On the other, there's her former master Soul, who wants to bring her back to the light side. What we will definitely get to see are plenty of lightsaber battles. As director Leslie Headland told Variety, the series will be a mixture of Frozen and Kill Bill, with samurai movies serving as general inspiration, similar to Quentin Tarantino. What exactly frozen means in this mix remains to be seen. It is conceivable that May is unable to control her powers and therefore leaves her home, similar to Elsa in the well-known Disney animated film. No doubt just what the Sith are waiting for when they are on the lookout for new apprentices. Star Wars The Acolyte premieres on Disney Plus on June 4th, 2024. The second series from 2024 is called Star Wars Skeleton Crew. Here, the Jedi and the Force are generally not supposed to play a role. The series will instead focus on a group of children who have to find their way home after the fall of the Empire. They're supported by a mysterious man, played by Jude Law. The series will presumably be a little more family-friendly than The Acolyte. The emphasis on an adventure story about children is somewhat reminiscent of the Ewoks TV films from the 80s. In fact, Kathleen Kennedy confirmed that the series is based on films from this time period, especially youth adventures such as E.T. or The Goonies. The directors include Bryce Dallas Howard, who also directed episodes of The Mandalorian, and Spider-Man No Way Home director John Watts. An exact release date for Skeleton Crew other than 2024 has not been set yet, but filming was already completed in January 2023. The eagerly awaited second season of Andor is scheduled for early 2025. Even though the first season only had moderate viewership figures, the majority of fans and critics were very impressed by the down-to-earth and dramatic approach of the series. Dave Filoni's Ahsoka will also receive a second season. Work on Season 2 has already begun, but it is not sure when exactly it will be released. With a bit of luck, we'll get to watch it in late 2025. Concerning the release date of Filoni's feature film, which will bring together the storylines of the Mandoverse, nothing is known at the moment. Finally, we would like to mention a few planned Star Wars projects that are still on Disney's schedule, even if there's not much specific information so far. Thor director Taika Waititi, Deadpool and Wolverine director Shawn Levy, as well as Logan director James Mangold are each set to direct a movie. The latter wants to present us with the origins of the Jedi under the codename Dawn of the Jedi, 25,000 years before Episode 1. The Lando project with Donald Glover, originally planned as a series, is now also intended to become a film, although production is currently not progressing. And then there is a whole trilogy of movies by Episode 8 director Rian Johnson. While he and Disney are still in touch about this, Johnson is currently very busy with other projects, such as his Knives Out films. And that concludes all the information we have about the new Star Wars film with Daisy Ridley and all the other Star Wars projects. What do you think? Does Ridley deserve one more chance in her role as Rey? Or would you rather have buried this chapter of the Star Wars story? And which of the new projects do you think has the greatest potential? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments.